The sun had barely risen over the small town of Willow Creek, casting a warm glow over the quaint streets and homes. But for Emily Wilson, the day had already taken a devastating turn. As she lay in her hospital bed, surrounded by the beeping of machines and the sterile smell of antiseptic, Emily couldn't help but feel like her world had been shattered. Just hours before, she had been driving home from a late-night shift at the local diner when a drunk driver had slammed into her car, leaving her with severe injuries. The doctors had told her that she was lucky to be alive, but Emily couldn't shake the feeling of despair that had settled over her. Her dreams of becoming a professional dancer, the thing she had worked tirelessly for since she was a little girl, seemed to be slipping further and further away. As the days turned into weeks, Emily underwent countless surgeries and hours of grueling physical therapy. But despite the progress she was making, she couldn't help but feel like a part of her had been lost forever. The pain and frustration were overwhelming, and there were times when Emily felt like giving up altogether. But then, something changed. Emily's physical therapist, a kind and gentle woman named Sarah, sat down with her one day and shared her own story of struggle and perseverance. Sarah had been a professional athlete, but a devastating injury had forced her to reevaluate her priorities and find a new sense of purpose. As Emily listened to Sarah's story, something inside of her began to shift. She realized that she wasn't alone in her struggles, and that there were people who cared about her and wanted to help. With newfound determination, Emily began to attack her physical therapy with a renewed sense of purpose. It wasn't easy, and there were still days when the pain and frustration seemed too much to bear. But Emily refused to give up. She began to see that her injury was not a definition of who she was as a person, but rather an opportunity to discover new strengths and talents. As the months passed, Emily slowly began to rebuild her life. She started taking art classes, discovering a hidden talent for painting. She began to volunteer at a local dance studio, teaching children with disabilities how to move and express themselves. And though she would never dance professionally again, Emily realized that she had been given a rare gift, the chance to rediscover herself, to find a new sense of purpose and meaning in her life. As she looked in the mirror one day, Emily saw a strong, resilient woman staring back at her. She was no longer the same carefree girl she had been before the accident, but she was something more, a warrior, scarred but unbroken. The drunk driver who had struck her down may have taken away her ability to dance, but he had not taken away her spirit. Emily had been struck down, but she was not destroyed. She was rising up, stronger and more beautiful than ever before.